Hi ho everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Baka Talks. I'm going to be talking about a random subject, usually pertaining to whatever game I'm playing, and it's just going to be me talking about certain aspects of that topic that I either like or dislike, and just you know pretty much just a general me sitting here and just blabbing on about stuff. So I really hope you're buckled in for a fun time because I'm going to be talking about Warhammer, and I'm going to be mostly sticking to the fantasy Age of Sigmar kind of setting, mostly because that's the way this game takes place. I will probably do something on 40k in another video in a 40k related game, but for now I'm going to try to focus and mainly stick to this sort of thing. I'm definitely going to be referencing 40k. You almost can't do that with the Warhammer series. So why don't we just get right into it and we'll talk about my favorite faction, Chaos. So right now I'm playing Archaon the Everchosen. He's like the champion of Chaos in both Warhammer Fantasy and eventually Age of Sigmar. So he's been chosen by each of the Chaos gods kind of like to represent them. And no one Chaos god has a single hold over him. He's kind of doing his own thing of uniting all of them. All right, yeah, gonna have to camp. And I'm mostly gonna skim over Archaon because I'm still fairly new to the Warhammer series. Like I started with the watching the Emperor Has Text to Speech because of my friend Darta suggested it. I loved it. I started expanding out, and then I learned about Age of Sigmar and all that. And I really like Age of Sigmar, but I'm still brand new to it. But I'm gonna discuss my favorite faction, and that's definitely Chaos. Chaos is my number one faction because I love all the demons, all the just like the craziness that involves Chaos. It's a blast. It is just it is pretty much lives up to his name as being nothing but chaos. And I actually have a ranking list of all my favorite Chaos gods and where they stand on that list. So to start off that list, number one is definitely Nurgle. Grandfather Nurgle, oh man, he is my all-time favorite Chaos god because I don't know what it is about his the way his demons are heavily mutated by sickness and disease. It's just, oh man, there's just some uniqueness to the horror that is how disease riddled and monstrous that these humans eventually become into. And same goes for their massive demons as well. In fact, the army I actually have in real life is a mix of Nurgle and Clan Pestilence Skaven, and I just simply adore them. Let's see, what else do we need here? We got a way to turn to attack. In the meantime, I'm probably gonna get off topic and distracted by the game, but that's just because I'm a very distracted person. But Nurgle is just in both 40k and Age of Sigmar is hands down my all-time favorite of the Chaos gods. It's a little harder to pick Chaos gods who are my favorite after that because Nurgle just is leagues in stride. It's ahead of everybody in terms of favorites. I can kick his ass easy. Declaring war on you, buddy. Oh boy, he is not gonna have a good day. So, when it comes to number two, I'm kind of a little unfair in it, and that I'm not going to pick one of the big four, and I'm going to say the Great Horned Rat is my favorite in second place, because Skaven are such a really, really cool faction. I'm sad they're not in the 40k version of Warhammer, but I just absolutely love Skaven. The different clans that have different styles of battle and all that. They have that crazy ass. Ooh, gotta level up. Crazy ass engineering, warlock magic that makes these monstrosities. It's just they are so cool, and the fact that they got their deity to actually ascend to godhood and join the pantheon of chaos, it is super cool. Ooh, I got a Chaos Spawn? When did I get him? Alright. However, this brings up another issue, is I'm a little disappointed in the number 3 spot is not getting enough love, and that's Slaanesh. It's hard for me to put Slaanesh and Khorne like compared to each other because they're very different in how they approach things. But like, I just I just like the variety of Slaanesh's like units. They look so unique. They are, you know, have an interesting story behind him because he's the god of excess, and he's not just the god of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Anything you take to excess is, you know, what makes Slaanesh Slaanesh, and I really enjoy the types of stories that could come out from that, the types of conflict that come from that. Ooh, okay, let's camp out a little bit, make some more dudes. Can we upgrade? We can upgrade. I just want to see how big we can get before we fight these guys. And yeah, going back to like the disappointment is that Slaanesh is you know, hogtied and being forced to like cough up elf souls and all that in Age of Sigmar. Post battle loot, raising some. Okay, post battle loot. And I know, I have faith that, you know, Games Workshop's going to do something to make, you know, Slaanesh's comeback really extra special, but until then, I'm a little sad that Slaanesh hasn't got a lot going on for him, her, as of right now. And it can't attack. Alright. So, and it was hard for me to choose between Khorne and Slaanesh because I really like both of them pretty much the same amount. Khorne slightly loses out in the fact that the variety of his dudes are... Ooh, that's not good, actually. It's a lot worse than I thought. What's he got on me that I don't got? Just a butt ton of Marauders? Finmere Warriors? Alright. Alright, retreat for now. He wants me to piss off, so how's about we piss off until we get something going. Some of those Chaos Boys. Again, I'm getting off topic, but the problem with Khorne is I feel like his demons, they are cool, but they're very samey. Like, they're very standardized, like, oh, this is, these look like these look like that, and I'm like, there's no uniqueness or individuality to them. They're all, like, you know, faceless, like, dudes that just gotta go, blah, into the fray, like, you know, you can't tell a bloodletter from any other bloodletter because their job is just to be, you know, foot soldiers, you know. And I don't mind worshippers of Khorne. They're like, there's some really cool ones like that, but it's just only ever so slightly are there more interesting Slaanesh characters than Khornite characters, at least to me. Like I said, they're very close, a very close position. Then comes Tzeentch. I like Tzeentch's moxie. I like the aesthetics of some of his demons, but the problem is he keeps self-sabotaging himself with his overcomplicated plans, and oh my lord, I've just... Can you not, like, just walk an inch forward for us to try to take them, please? Okay. But, yeah, Tzeentch is, like, Fate Weavers, and, like, oh man, like, the Pink Horrors, the Flamers... They are so cool in design. It's just sad that, you know, Tzeentch has to make all of his plans so goddamn unnecessarily complicated to the point that, like, you know, it's just, you know, it's painful to watch that. You know, he could have had this taken care of a long time ago, but instead he chose to, you know... what are you saying? Sorry, I'm still fairly new to this game, so I'm still learning these things. Like the as soon as I'm done talking about Zinch, I'm going to talk about the one faction I actually played in this game. So, but yes, it feels like Zinch is his own worst enemy at times, and I don't know how to like be like, hey, dude, if you just take it easy with the changing stuff, you might actually win for once. But then that kind of takes away who he is as a chaos god. Speaking of which, I am now taking over this area, bitch. Oh, level up Archaon. Get him some armor. And aside from that, it's just like because he focuses so heavily on sorcery, like, I like it when dudes get in and fight. That's why I like Khorne better than Zinch for sure, because Khorne has a distinct hatred for magic, and I like magic, but, when I just see, the dudes just going at it with, like, swords and axes and all that stuff, that's just a really cool fight right there. Zinch's, magic is really cool, but, the second any Khornite Berserker gets, like, right up there, that dude is toast. But, we can't all be good at everything. So, that brings me to the, sort of unaligned factions of Chaos. So, Chaos itself, you worship one of the ruinous powers, or you worship all of them, or you don't. There's like 3 options, pretty much. And I was playing the Beastmen campaign, which is the only campaign I beat on this so far. I just recently got the first Total War. And I like Beastmen now that I've played their campaign. I didn't care for them before. I thought they were just, generic, oh, these guys are just here. Skaven have a little more interesting things going on because Beastmen are just like, oh, we go here, we raid. They seemed like, the general fodder that would accompany any, big bad guy kind of army. And see, like, that corruption right there, I think that's really cool. That provides, interesting style to, villains for me whenever they have, like, severe corruption. We need to camp for a bit. So we're gonna chill. Again, I keep forgetting that he's leveled up. Melee defense, melee armor. And I have a new appreciation for Beastmen, especially now that their handbook came out. That actually is what sparked me wanting to play the Beastmen campaign. Once I got the first Total War, is the fact that they aren't just generic, oh, we break thing because we want to break thing. There are those, but there's also ones that actually worship the ruinous powers. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And in my I've actually been reading the book for the Plague Garden. It's an Age of Sigmar setting book about Stormcast Eternals going against the forces of Nurgle, which I love. I think it's interesting to see some Bray herds like just they showed up with Nurgle's dudes. Like, one was a deer guy who's like huge, covered in sores, and he was just like this big hulking monstrosity that they had to like try to like beat down, but of course they took him down because they're like the main characters of the book. But it was interesting to see that happening, because it's not just your run of the mill like Blight King. Because one thing I was disappointed in that book is that they made Blight Kings seem like they were nothing. They were getting one shot by the Stormcast Eternals, and I'm like, I thought Blight Kings were supposed to be these big tough boys. Instead, they're getting like just shot down. But anyways, yeah, I have a new appreciation for Beastmen, and now that I've learned that they can specialize in worshipping a single Chaos God, I think that they would provide really cool ally units. It would be cool to see them work together with Skaven and such, but it's 50-50. All right, it's a little a little asking for much, because Skaven are very xenophobic, and they pretty much, aside from Clan Pestilence, stick to themselves. Clan Pestilence is, he's down with Nurgle's boys, and that makes me happy. That, like, just having an army of those two of my favorite, most chaos factions together, that, oh man. Vermintide, it nailed it with those two getting together, and then, you know, having my own personal army for them. It's a really small army, granted, but I love it all the same. So actually, we're gonna wrap up here for now, and we're gonna heal up a bit, and maybe we'll continue this Baka talk later. So thank you for sticking around, and have a good day. Bye, everybody.